together for Marketplace.
We've talked before on the show about the latest phenomenon to hit home improvement, tidying up, the method from decluttering guru Marie Kondo. She helps people organize their lives by only keeping things that, as she puts it, spark joy. Well, one way things can spark joy is with the stories of where they came from. Anne Friedman is a journalist and co-host of the podcast Call Your Girlfriend. She's also a huge fan of the estate sale, which she describes as a going out of business event for one person's life and the perfect hobby for storytellers. She recently wrote about the magic of estate sales for Curbed. Hi, Anne.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. So how did you get into this estate sale business?
This has been a hobby since I would say my teen years, when I would get on my bicycle and go to garage sales and yard sales for fun. So maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. This has been a forever hobby for me. I'm just a snoop who likes other people's stuff.
And you sort of build a fantasy about the people who lived there, but you had an opportunity to kind of see how different the fantasy was from reality. Talk about Joe's house and finding sort of what you call the holy grail of estate sales.
Well, typically what happens is I am alone with my story, right? You know, I kind of say, oh, you know, this person was a world traveler, but they clearly had trouble traveling, and here's their Dramamine stash or whatever, you know, tiny snippets of stories.
That would be my house.
Right. Yeah. The special thing about this sale that I went to late last year is that the home still had a couple photos in it. It still had a couple of funeral memorial booklets. So, you know, actually this person's name and a few details about who they were. And I'm not like an obsessive stalker. I'm really more trying to entertain myself.
Right.
You know, I had put together this story about how he was a gay man who had come out late in life. And it turned out that his surviving husband had several years prior written a memoir about he and Joe falling in love. And so I had this shockingly complete story, which that is when I thought, you know, maybe this is the time that I actually write about why I love estate sales, because this is such a rare and wonderful thing to get my own story fact checked.
It was a beautiful story of these two men who did come out late in life. Each of them had been married to women and then found love together. And it seemed like it was a happier story in reality than maybe you had imagined.
I had some generational stereotypes maybe about what their lives had been like or how accepting their families had been of their relationship. And, you know, it really turned out that everyone, you know, both of their prior partners, all of their children, everyone was really just quite thrilled for them. And it's just a reminder to me of why, in fact, I do like meeting strangers and talking to them, is because the reality is always more complicated than the story that you've told yourself about it.
We're in this really interesting cultural moment surrounding our stuff with the rise of Marie Kondo and tidying up. Has all this snooping made you think differently about your stuff?
Sorry, I'm thinking about that one.
Good.
I mean, it feels new, particularly with Marie Kondo's work, that people are talking about the value of somewhat mundane stuff in a different way. You know, and I've often thought about if I were to undergo the tidying up process, going through my whole house to see whether every item sparked joy, I would end up having to buy a lot of new stuff, right? I mean, I hate my garlic press. It never quite worked right. Do I need a new garlic press? Like, no, I don't. Like, everything that doesn't fully live up to the joy-sparking ideal still has value based on the fact that you're using it every day. And it's not only things that someone has deemed valuable or heirloom quality.
Anne Friedman wrote about the magic of estate sales on Curbed. She's a writer and host of the podcast Call Your Girlfriend. Thanks so much.
It was a pleasure.
This final note, which could save you a lot of money at the neighborhood coffee shop. A study in the journal Consciousness and Cognition suggests that just thinking about coffee can make you more productive, at least if you're from a culture that associates coffee with alertness. When given cues related to either coffee or tea, participants from Australia and Canada had better mental focus from coffee-related cues. Those from tea-drinking cultures like China, Korea, and Japan saw no effect. Researchers say it'll take larger studies to confirm the connection. But the next time you're in an afternoon slump, what's the harm in trying it? I did. I don't think it worked.
Marketplace is supported by BitSight. From the back office to the boardroom, BitSight helps companies continuously manage cyber risk using its security ratings platform. More at bitsight.com. And by Raymond James, offering personalized wealth management advice and capital markets expertise with a commitment to putting clients' financial needs first. More at raymondjames.com. And by Magoosh, online test prep for the ACT, SAT, GRE, and GMAT that's designed to improve scores. Students can get video lessons, practice questions, and expert support online at magoosh.com.
That's it. We've got to go. Today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average slumped 617 points, 2 3/10%. The Nasdaq fell 269 points, 3 4/10%. And the S&P 500 lost 69 points, 2 4/10%. Our daily production team includes Bridget Bodner, Maria Hollenhorst, Sean McHenry, Daisy Palacios, and Daniel Shin. Our special projects desk includes Tommy Andres and Eliza Mills. And I'm Amy Scott. We'll be back tomorrow. This is APM.
Coming up on 7 o'clock, and Fresh Air comes your way next right here on OPB. You're with us at KOPB FM Portland, KOAB FM Bend, KRBM FM Pendleton, KOBK FM Baker City, KTVR FM LeGrand, KOGL FM Glen Eden Beach, KOAP FM Lakeview, KTMK FM Tillamook, KOTD FM The Dalles, KOBN FM Burns, KOPB AM Eugene, KOAC AM Corvallis, KOAC FM Astoria, KHRV FM Hood River, KETP FM Enterprise, KOJD FM John Day, and we're online at opb.org. Support for OPB comes from Delta Airlines. Delta's daily nonstop service from PDX to London is now available. Tickets at delta.com.
From WHYY in Philadelphia, I'm Terry Gross with Fresh Air. Today, a comedy series from the creator of Killing...
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilmember Caldwell Wagner. Here. Groves. Here. Fitzpatrick.
Here.
Patrick. Here. Randall.
Here.
Walker.
Here.
Mayor Cramblett.
Here. Additions or amendments to the agenda.
No changes, Your Honor.
Adoption of the consent agenda to the approval of April 22nd, 2019 City Council minutes and ratification of the bill, the amount of $216,160.
Your Honor, I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, public hearing.
We have none.
So action, appointments to committees.
We have one application to the Tourism Committee, Sally Drew, who has done the farmer's market and works at the Columbia, not the Best Western.
No,
Cascade Inn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't
Has
think
applied
she's
to be on it?
working in one right now.
Oh, well, it was last time I checked.
What was that?
She used to work at the Cascade Inn,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
but she's applied to be on the Tourism Committee, and we have a spot available for her.
And we have one spot available.
We have 2 spots, right?
2 spots.
2 spots. So she can fill
I
one.
would be in favor of that then. We good with that?
Definitely.
All right?
Yeah.
Let's send her,
Definite.
send her a letter.
We'll do it.
Okay, approve resolution number 1415, authorizing recycling surcharge.
We have Mr. Jim Wetterbottom from Waste Connections, oh, I'm sorry, with us tonight, Hood River Garbage. He's got some comments and about a related topic.
Sure. So, good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. I was here on April 22nd and talked about recycling and the surcharge if you choose to do so, which will allow us to send the material back to the processor rather than the landfill, which we're currently running under the state DEQ concurrence. It takes all three jurisdictions that we handle at Hood River Garbage Transfer Site, which is Cascade Locks, the county of Hood River, which I'll meet for the second time with next Monday, and then the city of Hood River will follow. And in conjunction to that, I just want to give a quick debrief on the city cleanup that took place here in Cascade Locks on May 4th. We did up the box count and the yardage count as we discussed last fall from 120 to 150 yards, which was 5 30-yard drop boxes. Average weight estimation, the best we can do going into a trailer, is about 35 tons. So Sheldon and his crew were very good to work with, went fairly smooth. So 70,000 pounds of trash was removed out of Cascade Locks. And if there's any questions on the surcharge or the recycling, I'm more than willing to answer anything.
Any questions? All right. Okay, I guess.
So you have before you the resolution 1415 that puts in the 2.61% increase surcharge for to send the material, as Jim has explained, back to the processor, to the producer, rather than sending it to the landfill.
Do I hear a motion?
I move to approve the resolution number 1415, adding a surcharge of 2.6% to the 2019 rates to move recycling to processors in Portland rather than to the landfill.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 1415. Discussion. No questions? Is there anything you want to say on this first?
No, not really, Your Honor. Thank you. I mean, it's seems like we've just been, the cost of living's just going up for the citizens here, but it seems like something that we need to approve.
Richard?
Yes, I would just like to clarify something. Okay, so we go ahead and approve this resolution, and then something happens. Is there, are we for sure that the three entities that you were talking about are going to be able to come together?
No, I'm never sure when it comes to council or commissioners, but it's been positive up to this point. So there will not be any implementation of the rates until I know all three jurisdictions are on board, at which time I'll communicate with Mr. Zimmerman. That has happened. I mean, I know rate increases are impactful. And we'll have to, monitor this closely, and if markets change, either for the better or for the worse, you folks will be the first to, get a debrief on it.
Other questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right.
Okay, well, appreciate it, and I'll be in touch for it after I do the other meetings, and we'll go from there.
Deal.
All righty, thank you.
You can tell them the Cascade Locks leads the way.
I will. I'll mention that.
Okay, approve Gord's notice to proceed.
Thank you. We have with us Mr. Ed Hodges, who is McLeod, who's the engineer for our Gorge Hubs project. Ed, come on up.
Okay, thank you, Gordon. Honorable Mayor and Councilors, I don't think I've met or talked with any of you before, but I wanted to come and give you a little bit of a debrief on where this project is at this time, particularly with results of bid And a little bit about myself. My firm, I'm the half owner of Kerr McLeod. We're a 9-person firm out of Portland. All we do is municipal work. And we've been in business for over 30 years. I have about 27 years of experience as a civil engineer at this time. And we do a very wide variety of projects. Projects like this one. We also do a lot of infrastructure projects like the city is involved right now. So, moving on to the Gorge Hub project, let me give you a little background. I will just go through the memo that I have. But the bottom line is we started working with Gordon, I think, in late 2016 or 2017, early 2017 on this. And initially, when we scoped the project and looked at the improvements we wanted to do in this park, we came up with a total project cost. I think the city had a number of around 200,000 originally. Our cost increased to our estimate to about 300,000. And then, so at that point, it was decided, obviously that this is a lot of money, and we're going to assist Gordon to obtain grant funding to the extent that we could. And so in the last 2 years, that's what we've done, and we managed to procure, I think, an additional 95,000. Yeah, it was 95,000 total. And funding, and Gordon looked at different city funds to acquire to do the project as well. So when we started looking for the funding, our design was about 80% finished. And when it became clear in late 2018 that we were looking at acquiring the amount of funds we thought at that time were necessary for the park, I started working back on the project. And, coming into the spring and looking at it, it's already started to increase. You can see our total project, which is including engineering, was close to 360,000. That was our estimate. We've now bid the project, and so we're looking at the real numbers, and they unfortunately are higher than that. The project consists, and they're in this packet, there's on the final page, there's a foldout that shows the basic items that we're going to do for the project. There's also what we call a bid tab that shows the results of the 3 bidders who bid on this project. So you look at the differences in the bids. The bottom line is, though, is that we had really 2 components. One is we decided there was going to be a bathroom facility, which is a restroom and a shower for the hikers and for the recreational users of the project. And our approach to it was to go with a pre-packaged unit that essentially shows up as a kit. The contractor assembles it on site. This is very common. The other way, of course, is just to design the whole thing. The contractor builds it from scratch. So this kit, we sent out an estimate to 3 bidders. We got 1 quote back from an established firm that was for about $67,000, as you can see. The low bid for the actual construction of the project was around $328,000. So the total of the 2 bids, is around close to $400,000, $396,000 plus or minus. When you add in our engineering fees, which are unchanged, we're looking now at $420,000 plus or well, $421,000. So I think that the first question in your mind is, where did these differences come from our estimate and reality? And what I can tell you is, I don't know for sure, but there's a couple of things that really stood out when I was looking at those bids when I got them back and thinking about the project. Number one is, in between that period from 2017 to 2 years, or almost 2 years to now, we had some slight changes or modifications to the scope between 2017 and 2019. A principal one is that the bathroom got slightly bigger. We also looked at matching the architectural standards of your Main Street area, which added just on, in terms of cosmetics to the bathroom, it added on a stone facade and also just a very probably 15,000 or more, 20,000 to the total cost of the bathroom. We also had to match the historic Columbia Highway architectural standards for this project. That was I guess a requirement, is it, Gordon?
For the gorge house.
Yeah, for the gorge house, that they have to match the ODOT's architectural style manual for the, the highway project that they're building up and down the core. And again, these aren't big things, but, we put it's a really nice benches we put in, but you can't just put in a cheap bench. You have to build a stone masonry bench. That's the style that you see up and down the highway. We had a couple of columns in front. Those two have to be in this certain style of architecture that was, mimics the original project. And each one of these items just added a little bit more to the cost. That's one of my beliefs. Also, there were just some other items that I think originally we had thought the city might self-perform, some items like utility connections. It turned out that really wasn't the way that we felt was, talking with Gordon, that the city crew really didn't have the resources to do that right now. So we just put those in the project. And that probably added another 20,000 as well. Things like water, sewer to the bathroom, power. Just in brief, I consider this project, my word for it is they call it a boutique project, and I don't mean that in any derogatory way in any sense. It is just, it's a project that on a public bid is non-standard, or it has non-standard items. It's got, it's basically a parking lot in many ways, and then you've got concrete in front for the sidewalks, but then you've got these little items of, say, the benches, redoing the plaza in the back, putting in the, reconstructing the pergola. In my experience with projects of this type, and I listed a couple, parks, bathrooms in particular, they always amaze me. Libraries, they're non-standard public works projects, and they're hard to bid, or I've found them hard to estimate. Just contractors look at them and they're like, yeah, we can do this work really easily with the parking lot, but then how much does this work involve? There's a lot of labor involved, so we're going to throw a bigger number at it. And they always are, for me, it's